What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Duncan D. Fields. And before we get into anything, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Say what's up. Say what you I have something on my face. I'm going outside, man. I'm going outside. But hey, I'm gonna leave this in here because you gotta show your flaws, because that was funny. That was fucking funny. But hey, man, say whatever you want to. Okay. That was funny to me. But hey, okay, we starting off real bad. But hey, man, we about to get into that triple OG, double OG George Carlin, talking about abortion and the sanctity, I think I said that right, of life. Hot topic, abortion and life, I guess. You know, shit, we're all living. If you woke up today, you living. Makes sense, you know, make it make sense. Whatever, man. But hey, less talking, more watching, and like always, man. Deep breath, gang. Oh, my George Carlin stands out there. Let's get into it.
Abortion shit. Now,
Didn't mix with the
is a
headphones.
fetus a human being? This seems to be the central question. Well, if a fetus is a human being, how come the census doesn't count them? If a fetus is a human being, how come when there's a miscarriage, they don't have a funeral? If a fetus is a human being, how come people say we have 2 children and 1 on the way, instead of saying we have 3 children? People say life begins at conception. I say life began about 1 billion years ago, and it's a continuous process. Continuous, just keeps rolling along. Rolling along.
That's crazy. How? I wonder that. Do they count kids on census? Like what? Like when do you get your Social Security? I remember I was real young, because my fucking handwriting is terrible. Jeez, hold on. Like, are you registered as like a person, like an American citizen or wherever, as soon as you're birthed? I never thought of that. Holy shit. Now about the funeral, I know some people who do have like a little get together and like, not like a funeral, but like a sort of a funeral. I know some people do that, but yeah, counting them, I don't know. Never thought of that.
I say, you know something? Listen, you can go back further than that. What about the carbon atoms? Huh? Human life could not exist without carbon. So is it just possible that maybe we shouldn't be burning all this coal? Just looking for a little consistency here in these anti-abortion arguments. See, the really hardcore people will tell you life begins at fertilization. Fertilization when the sperm fertilizes the egg, which is usually a few moments after the man says, gee, honey, I was going to pull out, but the phone rang and it startled me. Fertilization. But even after the egg is fertilized, it's still 6 or 7 days before it reaches the uterus and pregnancy begins. And not every egg makes it that far. 80% of a woman's fertilized eggs are rinsed and flushed out of her body once a month during those delightful few days she has. They wind up on sanitary napkins, and yet they are fertilized eggs. So basically what these anti-abortion people are telling us is that any woman who's had more than 1 period is a serial killer. Consistency. Hey, if they really want to get serious, what about all the sperm?
You see that dude that just creeped in? Hold on. Watch right here.
Consistency.
Look at this dude just creeping. He's like, huh? But yeah, man, pro-lifers, listen, be whatever you want to, but don't try and force your beliefs down someone's throat. I don't believe in that. That's fucked up. Because pro-life, how pro-life are you? You know, we got slavery that's still going on around this world today. Today, there's still slaves going on. Like, slavery is still going on. If you're pro-life, are you just pro giving birth to a child life? Or are you pro humans? Like, mankind pro-life, like don't kill anyone life, don't enslave people life, like where's the line being drawn, you know? Oh, also I'm pro-choice, and to me it's like it's a woman's body, and I'm not in the situation, so like I feel like, why should I be like, you gotta have that baby, and if you don't want it, then put it up for adoption. And that's another thing, adoption centers. I've heard some fucked up stories about adoption centers, like underfunded, cruel treatment, and sometimes the parents are bad, and if you're gonna be pro-life, and someone doesn't want the baby, you have to make sure that kid gets the essential needs. You can't just be like, all right, yeah, pro-life, throw him in the foster center if you don't want him. Good job, pro-life. And then he gets fucking beat in his adopted parents' house and neglected. Like, it's a hairy line, man. Fuck.
Consistency.
Hairy.
Hey, if they really want to get serious, what about all the sperm that are wasted when the state executes a condemned man and one of these pro-life guys who's watching comes in his pants, huh? Here's a guy standing over there with his jockey shorts full of little Vinnies and Debbies, and nobody's saying a word to that guy. Not every ejaculation deserves a name. Now, speaking of consistency, Catholics, which I was until I reached the age of reason.
I love that. It's funny.
Catholics and other Christians are against abortions, and they're against homosexuals. Well, who has less abortions than homosexuals? Leave these fucking people alone, for Christ's sakes. Here is an entire class of people guaranteed never to have an abortion. And the Catholics and Christians are just tossing them aside. You'd think they'd make natural allies.
If anything, they're more pro-life than anyone, because they'll adopt. They'll have what is it called when someone else carries a baby? What is it? It's something wife. God damn it, I forget. But yeah, man, they want kids. They want to take care of them. If anything, they're more pro-life than anybody. Shit. It is what it is.
Go look for consistency in religion. And speaking of my friends, the Catholics, when John Cardinal O'Connor of New York and some of these other cardinals and bishops have experienced their first pregnancies and their first labor pains, and they've raised a couple of children on minimum wage, then I'll be glad to hear what they have to say about abortion. I'm sure it'll be interesting. Enlightening, too.
Not wrong.
But in the meantime, what they ought to be doing is telling these priests who took a vow of chastity to keep their hands off the altar boys. Keep your hands to yourself, Father. You know? When Jesus said, "Suffer the little children come unto me," that's not what he was talking about.
Jesus.
So you know what I tell these anti-abortion people? I say, hey, if you think a fetus is more important than a woman, try getting a fetus to wash the shit stains out of your underwear. For no pay and no pension. I tell them, think of an abortion as term limits. That's all it is. Biological term limits. But you know, the longer you listen to this abortion debate, the more you hear this phrase, sanctity of life. You've heard that, sanctity of life. You believe in it? Personally, I think it's a bunch of shit.
I've heard it a couple times.
Well, I mean, life is sacred? Who said so? God? Hey, if you read history, you realize that God is one of the leading causes of death. Has been for thousands of years. Hindus, Muslims, Jews, Christians, all taking turns killing each other because God told them it was a good idea. The sword of God, the blood of the Lamb, vengeance is mine. Millions of dead motherfuckers.
He don't miss. Yes, bro, I swear, religion is literally, it's so up there with people killing each other because they don't believe in what someone over there believes, or someone over here doesn't believe the same thing. It's like, let's go to war, let's fucking kill each other. It's like, I thought religion was supposed to unite and bring people together. Not fucking, I guess what am I? Not make them want to fucking kill each other, you know? Ugh, God.
Millions of dead motherfuckers, all because they gave the wrong answer to the God question. You believe in God? No. Dead. You believe in God? Yes. You believe in my God? No. Dead. My God has a bigger dick than your God.
Come on now. I bet God is packing. That boy sus.
Thousands of years, and all the best wars, too. The bloodiest, most brutal wars fought, all based on religious hatred, which is fine with me, eh? Anytime a bunch of holy people want to kill each other, I'm a happy guy. But don't be giving me all this shit about the sanctity of life. I mean, even if there were such a thing, I don't think it's something you can blame on God. No, you know where the sanctity of life came from? We made it up. You know why?
Thanks.
Because we're alive. Self-interest. Living people have a strong interest in promoting the idea that somehow life is sacred. You don't see Abbott and Costello running around talking about this shit, do you? We're not hearing a whole lot from Mussolini on the subject. What's the latest from JFK? Not a goddamn thing. Because JFK, Mussolini, and Abbott and Costello are fucking dead. They're fucking dead. And dead people give less than a shit about the sanctity of life. Only living people care about it, so the whole thing grows out of a completely biased point of view. It's a self-serving, man-made bullshit story. It's one of these things we tell ourselves so we'll feel noble. Life is sacred. Makes you feel noble. Well, let me ask you this. If everything that ever lived is dead, and everything alive is gonna die, where does the sacred part come in? I'm having trouble with that. Because, I mean, even with this stuff we preach about the sanctity of life, we don't practice it. We don't practice it. Look at what we kill. Mosquitoes and flies, because they're pests. Lions and tigers, because it's fun. Chickens and pigs, because we're hungry. Pheasants and quail, because it's fun. And we're hungry. And people, we kill people, because they're pests. And it's fun.
Another thing off of that, man. Oh my goodness. They will say, oh, people sin. He's like, this is not. I go to church so I can cleanse what I have done. I need to confess my sins. Bitch, just sin less. Like, literally, you can stop yourself from sinning. All you have to do is just don't do it. If you're out here beating off every fucking single day, and then you go to Father, you're like, Father, I touched myself. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Bitch, go to a psychologist. You need to fucking stop. If you're really thinking about, like, oh, I'm sinning. Like, bro, I'm not saying, you know, beating off is bad, but if you're holy and you're like, I'm sinning, I need to stop it. Just fucking stop. Like, I feel like a lot of sins could be avoided, but you're just like, oh, I can just cleanse it and then have a clean slate. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. I don't
and
like
you
that.
might have noticed something else.
Whatever.
The sanctity of life doesn't seem to apply to cancer cells, does it? You rarely see a bumper sticker that says, save the tumors. Or I break for advanced melanoma. Ah, viruses, mold, mildew, maggots, fungus, weeds, E. coli bacteria, the crabs.
Pause.
Nothing sacred about those things. So at best, the sanctity of life is kind of a selective thing. We get to choose which forms of life we feel are sacred, and we get to kill the rest. Pretty neat deal, huh? You know how we got it? We made the whole fucking thing up. Made it up. The same way.
Facts.
Thank you.
Facts. Spitting facts, man. We humans made this shit up. Listen here. Motherfuckers back then got extremely high off of psychedelics, and they started tripping balls, and they seen God, which they were just really high, and then next thing you know, the 10 Commandments came down, and this and that. Look. there was a study, I forgot what the dude's name was, but there was traces of psychedelics in the wine glasses, like the chalices of what, the Greeks, I believe, and early Catholicism, early practices of the Catholic Church. So they would put something in the wine and give it to motherfuckers, and they started tripping balls. Look this shit up. Do some research, man, because I forgot the dude's name. But if I remember, I will drop down in the comment, or add a can't even fucking talk. I'll add whatever so you can look into it. But yeah, this dude did some research and found that shit out. They're still trying to verify it and shit, but it's heavy evidence. So, hey man, let me know what you guys think in the video in the comments down below. Say what's up, say what you on your mind. I ranted a lot in this one. Whatever, man. But hey, appreciate you guys, love you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Again, be open, man. Be open to everything, man. I'm not saying this shit is wrong or right. I'm just saying it don't add up. Life doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's ever supposed to make sense. So, live it to the fullest. Do whatever you want to do, man. And just be a good person. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.